Well, I'm a shade tree engineer. And what's wrong with do-it-yourself? You know, the channel's even about do-it-yourself education. If you can't afford a college, then maybe you could, oh well, I've got 3.5 hours in this project, and maybe I was a little enthusiastic about what this dryer's worth, because I was thinking they were $1,500 a piece, and used, and I don't know if I have the picture from the parts store. They wanted like $85 for 4 wheels, a little tension pulley, and the belt. But everything's good except for one of those wheels. And so I went back and I took that 84 something part bag in. And then they tried to, well, I don't know. I'm all about ethics. They wanted $75 for one little wheel. You know, Harbor Freight has a lot of things just like it for $5.99. So, I don't know. I may have to engineer that, but if I'm doing this, I want to make sure it's all clean. I mean, I saw this other guy's video where he's just throwing it on the floor. Well, I'm kind of that way. You know, trying to impress people with all the crap I took out of this. You know, I got more over here. Found me 32. Well, what's it up to? 42 cents. But I cleaned it out pretty good. I refurbished the motor. This one's spring. I don't know if I can get enough light in there. On the motor was falling off. That spring right there. So I had to take a little drill, and I drilled new brackets for it so that it holds some brushes together. My younger buddy, see how that one's in there on 2 itty bitty hooks. And I think when the wheel flattened out, it snapped that spring off. So they wanted $325 for this. Now, when I went in, I could buy this exact same model used in their store for like $364, except it was black. Mine are silver. And after opening this up, you know, and seeing all that hair and everything, would venture to say some of them others are maybe in as bad a shape, and just because they work doesn't mean they're been cleaned up and lint freed, and you know, so maybe it'll be $365 used. Knew they were $1,065. I was thinking $1,500. You know, I was thinking the top of the line perfection. But either way, if you don't have a college education, there's a lot of money in refurbishing old appliances. You know, I've got it down, so now I gotta clean it up, put it back together again, and we'll find out if my little, I like doing this stuff, some people don't, you know, but it's a challenge for the mind, you know. It won't hurt you if you're young, got 60 years, 50 years of hard work, you know, 18 to 65, whatever, do the math. I know it's not perfect, but I estimate, exaggerate, and procrastinate, you know, everybody thinks I should be done already, but you know, the one thing about time I've learned is the only way you'll enjoy life is if you realize time is infinite, and the best times are with other people, in my opinion. But I doubt if you really want to watch me take a toothbrush to that, but just a little update. Yeah, all them pros probably have a cameraman. Like I say, this is the heat sensor, the lint filter sensor. Trying to keep my documents, but this is just to show you I will clean it up really nice with a toothbrush, and then I'll show you the finished product. Dang. Oh, it's up here. Yeah, it's kind of hard to get the nightmare one-handed, you know, double tasking. Really, you can't do it. You know, you either got to concentrate on the camera or concentrate on the, you know, it's like trying to pat your belly and rub your head, and, you know, two different motions. Yeah. Hey, that's just one of them. Hey, if you really concentrate, you might be able to, but I'm not really pushing hard. I'm more concentrating on trying to get the toothbrush to work. Cool, huh? I know I'm doing this in the middle of my floor. The heavy. And the 220's down here. But I mean, parents and kids, what have you got to lose? This is my Nintendo game. It's educational. It's worth working on health, wealth, and knowledge. You know? You parents should allow your kids to do something like this. Build their, especially if they're mechanically minded. You know, not everybody wants to be a sit behind the desk and type kind of guy. I've always liked being outdoors and working with my hands and my mind. See, people don't really think you have to use your brains to do this kind of thing. And you don't. And you do. You know, just figuring out how it comes apart, how it goes together. The engineer, you don't think that's engineering? It'll help. I don't normally do this, but like my film to Grandpa, you know, it's the first year I've been really, that I'm going to file that 501c as a philanthropy. And, you know, I try to improve these young kids that are slightly troubled, their status, because they're at a disadvantage. And my main protege does have like a trust fund, and you know, I don't want to go into, that he's deserving of a chance at getting out of the circumstances that birth, or see, one-handed artist here, and the circumstances he was placed in by no real choice of his own, just by the dealing of the deck of cards of life. And you know, I know so much, and well, as my wife puts it, I save so much money because I can fix anything. Because I have the courage. This is the first time I took a dryer down this far. What have I got to lose? It was free to begin with on Nextdoor. My wife saw them, and they look good. And she knows anything that's wrong with them I can repair. And people are, hurry up, we're without a dryer, oh my goodness. Even my wife, I love her dearly. But you know, when I do something, I'm going to do it to a standard of health, hygiene, perfection. I'm not perfect, but I'm trying to get it A minus, B plus, you know. Good enough, you know. It won't be freaking filthy, you know. Everything starts out clean, because that's what sells. But then the wind blows and the dust gets in the windows, and I call them ghost turds underneath the couches, you know. Nobody can keep that shit out of their house. But we all, you know, unless you pay a servant to go through and dust. And if you ain't got that kind of money, then you may have to just settle for, it won't kill you, by the gods of nature. Well, you know, there's a lot of types of education. And this has to do with some of that things that I'm trying to be a mentor and protege to the youth. First thing they need is a way to stand on their own, learn a little financial planning, any skill that is life improvement is education. How to budget your money. Yeah, you might make some mistakes and be the subject of a usury car loan, which the kids think is necessary. But they only learn in the school of hard knocks. Now, whether or not I'm beneficial to the youth of America, the only honorable man that's stayed in my house and continually tried to learn life situations from me his accomplishments since he's been here is, well, he's not in jail. He's at least tried to maintain employment. He's honorable about at least wanting to pay his rent and make it so that all his bills are paid in one lump sum. And taught him to drive, had the patience, and he had the determination, and he bought the car he learned on. He, like anything, trial and error, you know. But he's never been, and I don't know why he has people around him that belittle him, treat him. I don't believe in belittlement, or I believe in second chances. I believe as long as somebody's trying, you know, at first you don't succeed, try again, you know, the little engine that could, I think I can, you know, all these things. And this is a personal outreach to maybe his aunt, who's in control of an estate that will only pay for education. If you don't think Drake's learning something, I think you're misunderstanding the situation at my house. It's positive, God-fearing, no illegal activity. I just believe in the Constitution, freedom of choice, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness as I see it. Not so much as other people do. As long as you're pulling your weight. And, you know, I think it was a usury loan. I think his mother used him when he sold him the Audi. I apologize if they don't think so. I mean, it was a fair price for the car, but the deal kept changing the minute, you know, somebody knew he had a few bucks, and they were taking advantage of him. Usury. I don't do that. Fair price, fair rent, you know, safe. I give them washer and dryer. I may have to fix one every now and then. They have their own clean, common living space. Heat works. I don't have AC. They're gonna do their own. And I keep it neat. No, I'm sorry, there's only one bathroom that takes from my daughter. It's curtain. You know, this is not a bad environment. I won't go into the other two rooms, but at the moment this room's open. If I find the right person, I'll rent it if they don't have a bed. I clean and sterilize that better than any bed that you'll find. Currently my wife brought in her flowers from the solarium. My house is neat, despite, and it's adequate. Oh, classic antiques, you know, frugal, not Hollywood. You know, the only place in the house that's a nightmare is where I do all my projects. My man cave, but it has all the luxuries that an old do-it-yourselfer might find fun, exciting. You know, my garage, which is full of hidden treasure. But, you know, you don't let the naysayers freaking control you, you know. Donald and Daffy Duck, you know, or the Predators and the Wolves, and, you know, they may need car money, and, you know, now it's just SH. But Youth Truth Podcast, Do It Yourself, Business 101, and I throw in a little wildlife biology studies on the American cottontail because I got it, There's some books, and I have important ones like the Uniform Code of Building from 91, but living on a few acres, how to trade the stocks, you want to cook, short-term trading, Bible questions, there's a well-read Bible, how to do it yourself, Colorado rock hounding, in Idaho because I travel, rocks and minerals. Are you a coin collector? These are all things that can help a young man play a little football. It's not that bad a deal. So, I appeal to you, Rachel. Give the young man a chance. And all I ask from them is that they respect the country and my personal belief in the God of nature, which is how it's described in the Declaration of Independence. And I get a few benefits. He's the only man, and he's got more skill than with this here machine. He can type so fast. Man, he'll make them keys go. And I encourage him to come and practice on this machine. But he's proud and doesn't want to break it or whatever, And I just say that I'm starting my own movement. It's called the Rabbit Party, because I think we all got to stand up, voice our opinions, and I have equipment, all the tools that he might be willing to do. Currently I'm doing hardwood projects, but I tell him, don't let the trolls get them. Don't listen to the bobbleheads. Well, he tries to figure out how to find his own gold mine. Dreams are all right, but it's a 20-year plan. And he needs to learn how to run his balance sheet. But there's a simple theory of the doubling of assets. And it takes a little planning, calculations of values. Let's start your own business. If they're interrupted with honeydews for your wife. Fill your brains with knowledge. Every little bit helps and will be beneficial in the future. The best computer out there is the man's brain.